Tonight, the witch cult of Incessant Rage prepares to take on their hated foes, the Necrons. This battalion detachment and Outrider detachment are led by the three succubi triplets, led by Anna, the warlord. Her warlord trait, Tenacious Survivor. She's armed with a blast pistol and combat drug, +1 toughness. Kitty, armed with her Impaler, combat drug, +1 strength. And Dolly, armed with her Agonizer, combat drug, +2 movement. They're supported by this unit of 10 witches, 2 of which have Hydra gauntlets. The Hecatrix, armed with a blast pistol and an Agonizer, combat drug, +2 leadership. A unit of 5 witches, Hecatrix armed with a power sword, and 1 witch armed with razor flails, combat drug, +1 weapon skill. And this unit of 9 witches, Hecatrix armed with a blast pistol and Agonizer, 1 witch with the Hydra gauntlets, combat drug, +1 strength. Over on the left, we have 1 unit of Scourges. 2 are armed with blasters. The Solarite has a power spear and a blast pistol. 2 unit of Reaver jet bikes. 1 in each squad armed with a blaster and with Grav Talons. Both of them combat drugs, +1 attack. And a unit of 10 Hellions. Combat drug, +1 toughness. And over on the right, 5 more Scourges. 2 armed with Dark Lances. 2 more units of Reaver jet bikes. These armed with Heat Lances and Grav Talons. Combat drug, also +1 attack. Unit of 10 Hellions. Also +1 toughness for their combat drug. Then lastly, supported by 3 dedicated transports. We have 2 Raiders, each armed with Dark Lances, and a Venom, armed with a Splinter Cannon and Twin Splinter Rifle. Altogether, 1,850 points of whirling death, ready to take on those Necrons.
Hey guys, for tonight's battle report I brought a 1,850 points list of Necrons. It's just actually 1 battalion detachment. In the center we have Overlord with Foresight, Barebones Cryptek. Behind we have 5 Lich Guard. On the right we have a 10-man squad of Immortals with Gauss Blasters. Behind them also 10-man Immortals, but I will prox them as Tesla guys. In the center we have here 5 Death Marks. Behind we have here Knife Sight. We switch over, we have a Stalker. Then we have a Ghost Arc. Over here we have the infamous Terrace Arc Vault. And at the end we have a blob of 20 Necron Warriors completing my detachment.
Warlord trait?
Tenacious Survivor.
Alright, so that will give you a total of 6 command points. We will roll off for mission and be back after deployment. The deployment style for tonight's game is Spearhead Assault, which is 12 inches in from the corner up to 9 inches from the center and then back to the other corner. And the mission is Tactical Escalation, which means that in the first round we will draw 1 tactical objective card for the Maelstrom of War, and then 2 for the second round, and so on and so forth. The normal secondary objectives are in place, so that's Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker, and First Blood. For the Dark Eldar, before we go there, let's do objectives. Objective number 1, up in the ruins. 5 in the woods. 2 up in the ruins. 6 right here in the center. 3 up in the ruins. And 4 is back there. So the Dark Eldar. Over in this ruin building, we have put 3 bike squads. The 2 with blasters and 1 with heat lance. All nestled up there. I got a unit of Hellions sitting here inside the woods. And 1 lone Venom at -1 to hit up there with the 5 witches inside. One unit of Scourges with the Dark Lances is set up on the board. Simon's deep striking death marks have me a little nervous, so I don't want to lose them. And then a unit of Hellions back here with the 2 Raiders, the Witches, and the Leaders in the one that's marked at this point. And then one more unit of Bikes with Heat Lances. So over to Simon's side of the board. Simon, what you got?
So on my right flank I have here my Gauss Immortal guys, maybe for getting objective 3. In the center on objective 4 I have my infamous Terrasor Arc, which is mostly performing good, sometimes not. Here on the left flank I have my knife side with Warlord and my Overlord and my Lich Guard. And here over there my Tesla Immortals. Behind them the Ghost Arc. Here's the Cryptek. And in the front, as you can see in a triangle, my Warriors. And in the center the Stalker.
Okay, Simon did deploy first, so we'll come back and see who wins the roll off to see who goes. Alright, this is the roll to see who goes first. Simon gets a +1. I have rolled a 6. Simon has rolled a 5, so that's a tie. So let's do it again, Simon. I have rolled a 3. Simon's rolled a 5. Simon's going first. I will try to seize the initiative on a 6. Turnabout is fair play, ladies and gentlemen. The Dark Eldar turn 1 coming up. Dark Eldar turn 1 card draw. Overwhelming firepower. We need to kill some Necrons with their shooting phase. Probably not going to happen this turn, but in the future, it'll definitely happen. Turn 1 movement for the Dark Eldar is complete. It was, we've been pretty cautious. We're letting the power from pain kind of bubble up. We moved our Venom from the center of the board there. That was the first thing I dropped after the Scourges in reserve, so it was probably a bad drop. I'm lucky I'm going first. Over behind the ruins over here, and they're supported by 1 unit of the Blaster Bikers, leaving 2 units back here. These Hellions did not move. The Scourges were just out of range up there, so I had to move them down in order to target the Walker, the Tesseract,
The Stalker.
The Stalker. And then the 2 Raiders have moved out, and then lastly, I got 1 unit of Bikes hiding behind those ruins over there, and then these Hellions moved up to fill where the Raiders were at. So now we're on to Dark Eldar, turn 1 shooting. So the shooting phase is complete. The Scourges managed to land 1 on the Treyarch Stalker, but failed to wound, and the Raiders rolled double 1s and completely missed the Treyarch Stalker. So we don't score any objectives, there's no morale, and we are on to Necron's turn 1. Quick turn.
So hey guys, this is my turn 1 Necrons. Before movement, I draw defend objective 4, and as you can see, objective 4 is in front of my Terrasor Arc, so that's fine for me.
Yeah, I think you stand a good chance of getting that one, buddy. Alright, on to your movement phase.
So this is Necron's turn 1 movement. Here over I just advanced, not advanced, but I just moved them up without advancing. Just getting into line of sight and range of to these Raiders. Terrasor Arc stays where it is, defending objective 4. Over here I advanced my Immortals to get objective 3. Maybe it's useful for the next turns. And my knife side flew over there, so we'll have some fun over there.
Yes, we will. I hate to see that thing crash and everyone inside it die.
It won't happen again.
There's precedence though. Alright, so on to Necron's turn 1 shooting.
So this is the end of turn 1 of the Necrons. Shooting, first of all, I was focusing with my Stalker on this Raider over there. Managed to hit 2 times, but couldn't wound on a 3, even with spending a command point. Then my Terrasor Arc managed to strip away 6 wounds, which was 7 wounds, which was also a little bit underperforming, but better than nothing. And then my Tesla Immortals, I had just 5 guys. Destroyed this raider with quadruple ones,
yes,
included a command point.
So I'm down to 6 command points, but yes, rolled 4 ones for that.
Yes, 4 ones for that, and yeah, that's why exploding. 1 died, I think, to explosion. I know it doesn't explode, but of emergency doesn't work.
Yep.
Yes, and then I think 8 Necrons were shooting here over here into these witches, and just killed 1.
Yep. So got 2, and then over here.
Over there, my knife sight was performing actually quite not bad. A lot of hits, couple wounds, but amazing saves. Just turned it out that it just lost 1 wound.
Yeah, I made all the saves over here and failed all the ones over there, so guess it's an even trade. With that, Simon scores no points.
For now, because I have to defend objective 4, but I score first blood. So obviously after your turn I will score defend objective 4.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct there. So on to Dark Eldar turn 2. Just a reminder, Power from Pain means I get to reroll advances and charge rolls this turn. Alright, the Dark Eldar have drawn Area Denial to add to Overwhelming Firepower. Area Denial is going to be problematic because I got to push them back outside 6 inches. They're right on the edge there, but you know how resilient Necrons are. Hopefully get some Overwhelming Firepower as we bring some things to bear. So next up, Dark Eldar, movement. Turn 2, Drukhari movement, and the Dark Eldar have made their advance. So these spikes here on the left have jumped forward from this side of the ruins. You see the Venom's moved out towards Simon's warriors, but that was after he disgorged those witches hiding in the shadows there. You can barely see them. They're awfully sneaky. Well, these 2 units of bikes jumped out of these ruins. The succubus ran out of the woods and advanced. Originally rolled a 3 for her advance. I decided to re-roll that, took a chance, and rolled a 1. So she only went 11 inches with her combat drugs. I was hoping for more. And since we're already here, you can see that these sides with the blasters have dropped down. Simon thought about bringing in his death marks, but there was no good places to drop them. These Hellions remain in place, along with that succubus over there. The Hellions that were in those ruins have jumped out to support the witches who are moving forward. Those scourges remained in place, and that raider moved up, and lastly, those bikes have moved forward. So, plenty of movement for the Dark Eldar. Let's see if the shooting phase is successful. Drukhari turn 2 shooting, and it's an exciting round because between the blasters over here, the heat lance that hit but then didn't hit because that's flying, but mostly that raider right there with the dark lance, we have taken 8 wounds off the night scythe. That dark lance over there rolled a 6 in order to really bring this thing down, and it is surrounded. Those scourges unfortunately missed. Over here, the Venom knocked off a couple of those guys. The Hellions who advanced managed to knock off 3 of those guys. Also hit him with the Phantasm grenade launcher, which has caused them to be at -1 leadership. Over there, that Heat Lance and did nothing, but the poison did take out one of the Immortals. And an Immortal was taken out over here as well by the poison splinter rifles here. So I think that's it for shooting, right, Simon?
Almost. You forgot to mention that I used command point for 6 up.
Oh yeah, he did. It was amazing.
Dark lens over there.
Because one of my scourges shot and hit on a 4. He rolled a 5, and I thought foolishly used a command point, but it wasn't so foolish as he nailed it. But it is struggling. It has 2 wounds left. We're gonna see if the Dark Eldar can finish this off and really cripple Simon's Necrons yet again. Dark Eldar turned to assault, and we threw everything we had into the Night Scythe, eventually bringing it down through the combined efforts of the Graph Talons and then just the Blade Veins. On that unit right there, they rolled an incredible 4 wounds on it at -1, and it eventually failed. Simon did use a command point to try to save it, but to no avail. Unfortunately for Simon, he also lost the Lich Guard and the Lord that were in there. Again, if you saw our previous battle report. So, really took the heart out of the Necron army. Over here, this Venom charged in, took a wound to Overwatch, Didn't manage to kill anybody, but I did tie him up. And these bikes also made it in. And when they shuffled in, they managed to get the Triarch Stalker involved in combat as well. They did kill 2. So a total of 7 Necron warriors were killed this turn. And also the Phantasm grenade launcher. Simon has elected to use 2 command points to prevent them from fleeing. He did 1 wound back to me with the warriors, as you see on that bike right there. And then the Stalker, Triarch Stalker, which we shuffled into combat as well, hit back. I managed to make a 6 save for them. They needed a 5 up, I rolled a 6, so no damage there. So right now we have totally punched through the middle. Well, we haven't punched through the middle, but we've at least tied up the Necron middle. We'll force them to at least minimize their shooting a little bit and hopefully survive as we continue to march forward. Unfortunately for me, when it comes to scoring points, area denial, he still has a Necron warrior within 6, and overwhelming firepower as I look at it, I don't like my chances there. So I'm going to go ahead and discard that one as we go to Necron turn number 2.
But wait, because I defend objective 4, so I get my card over there. So meaning I am 3-0.
3-1 as I got Warlord. So,
yes.
Very close game. But I like the way it's going for the Drukhari. On to the Necrons, turn 2.
So Necrons turn 2 mission draws. I draw secure objective 4, which is fortunately where my Terracer arc is, and secure objective 5, which is over here where this horde of Hellions.
Oh yeah.
Are, so this is not likely to happen. So let's go to the movement, I would say.
Alright.
So Necrons turn 2 movement, phase done. I just actually moved up this Immortals to have rapid fire range on this squad over there. And my Cryptek, that you can also shoot some shots at them. Then over here, I moved up a little bit my arc for my repairing stuff, which I resurrected, I think 1 more warrior.
Yep, and 3 at the beginning of the round. So a total of 4 of the 7 came back.
And then I just moved up a little bit Immortals here to make space for my death marks that we can shoot a little bit.
He's expressed some concern about those 9 bikes over there. Alright, so movement is done. Just note that the Triarch Stalker is still in combat, as is those Necron warriors.
Okay, Necron turn 2 shooting phase. My death marks annihilated this Reaper jet bikes over here. The Gauss Immortals in rapid fire range just unfortunately managed to kill 2 of this Reaper jet bikes over there. Shooting from this one in destroyed what?
4 Hellions.
4 Hellions over there.
Yeah.
Then the Terrasark Vault destroyed this Raider over there.
And 2 witches were killed getting out of the Raider.
Yes. And then the nice part was my Tesla guys. I shot into the Succubus. Unfortunately, I just had 2 6s out of 20 shots, so statistically should be 3, but that's fine. He managed to make some couple of 4-up saves and 6-up save because of Tenacious Survivor and Power from Pain.
Inured to pain.
Yes, and she's down to 2 wounds.
Yep.
So she's less scarier now.
She is less scary, I agree, but she did survive, importantly. Okay, all in all, I think it's a pretty good shooting phase for you. Let's see if it's enough to keep you in the game.
Wait, I think I have to go on shooting because of this guy can still shoot.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and we'll come back after he shoots. Matter of fact, go ahead and roll on camera.
Okay, he is free shot, assault free, hitting on freeze. So 3 hits.
Okay.
And he's AP minus 3, I suggest, because of solar stuff. Let me just double check this one. But it should be, yes, AP minus 2, strength 5.
Okay.
So freeze the wound. 2 wounds.
Who's this going on? Is this on my Succubus?
Your Succubus, because it's in your unit.
And the range is 12 inches for that?
12, yes.
Go ahead and measure that. Make sure that's good. 4-up save. Make 1, miss 1. 6 up, feel no pain. No. 6 up, inured to pain. Actually, this is the tenacious survival. So she's down to 1 wound now. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're on to the assault phase. Necrons turn to assault phase.
Yeah.
It was a slap fight.
Yeah, it was a slap fight actually. Hitting, wounding, but then 5 ups.
5 ups, 6 ups.
6 ups of your fear, power from pain. And then in return, same happens to the warriors.
I did 3 wounds to the warriors at -1, and he made 3 5-up saves. So nothing happened there. Okay, well, let's go over and look at Simon's cards. Before we go to my cards, morale. This bike unit has lost 2, so anything but a 6 will be fine. That's a 1. And the Hellions lost 4 with their leadership 7. I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to use 2 of my 5 remaining command points to auto pass for them. So now onto my cards.
So at the end of turn 2, I do secure objective 4, and I will discard secure objective 5 because it's not gonna happen that I get this one. So it's I think 4 to 1, isn't it?
4 to 1 indeed. You're 1 win for my warlord. Let's see what I get in my cards though. Okay, so the Dark Eldar hold on to area denial and try to push those Necron warriors back. And they got secure objective 3 and defend objective 1. Defend objective 1 is on my side of the board. Currently no one around it, but we're going to fix that real quick. And unfortunately, secure objective 3 is in this Tower of Death. So we'll have to figure out a plan for that. Alright, back with the Necron dying in the Dark Eldar movement phase. Dark Eldar turned through 3 with a very busy movement phase. Out of here, I did go ahead and move 1 bike back here. And he moved, he advanced in order to get up there. But as a sole survivor, he's really good at keeping objectives. I need to defend objective 1 in order to get 2 points. It was defend objective 1,
yes.
Right? Okay, sweet. The other spikes moved out of the ruins and are looking at the warriors. As is that witch squad that was originally in the Venom. This succubus advanced and moved forward quite a bit. She's still not in range to help out. The blaster bearing scourges have moved up in that cool looking ruins. I love the idea of those bat people in the ruins, look good. And these Hellions moved up from one side of the woods to this one. They advanced along the way. The succubus is trailing behind. Thinking the Splinter Carbines are going to be more useful to me than the Dark Lances with the Quantum Shielding, I went ahead and moved those scourges up, along with these witches. The Succubi is now in the corner there. Hellions move forward as well, and those witches are just behind there. I did not leave room for them to charge though, so I was planning to, well, we'll see what's left. Lastly, this Venom moved out of combat with the fly keyword. It's going to be able to shoot. And that's what we're going to do next. We're going to do some shooting, see if we can't destroy some Necrons. Drukhari turn 3 shooting, not bad. These bikes, I tried to put their heat lance into that, but failed. And the splinter cannons failed to hit those Necron immortals. Those witches shot into combat with their pistols, but didn't do anything. The blasters actually did pretty well in that they took a total of
5 wounds.
5 wounds off of that. I think that's mismarked then. Starts with how many?
14.
So it's down to 9. And then I think melted a Necron warrior with the blast pistol there. Also shot 1 with the bikes because they're equipped with pistols, in case you didn't know. That was pretty cool. And then combined shooting between these Hellions, the Scourges with their shard carbines, those Hellions, these witches. Unfortunately, the Succubus missed with her blast pistol. We took out 6 Immortals. So we should be able to survive Overwatch at this point. We feel pretty good about that. Overall, not bad. We'll come back to you after what promises to be a very exciting assault phase. Turn 3, assault phase for the Drukhari, and they made use of their power from pain, giving them +1 to hit. All in all, killed about an additional 7 Necron warriors at the cost of 2 Scourges. Scourges aren't used to doing the close assault thing, so who can blame them? I lost 2 witches to Overwatch, but once they got in with the help of the Hellions, they massacred what was left of the Immortals, and then have consolidated around the Cryptek to make sure he's locked in combat. So right now in the middle, locked in combat, is the Cryptek, is the Triarch Stalker, and now also is this flying boat, which we know can move, but at least, just for a moment, it was locked in combat. Alright, so that's the end of Dark Eldar turn 3. We'll be back and take a look at, well, let's do morale real fast, Simon.
I need a 1 to get a 10.
Okay. Anything over a 1 is a guy dies, so a guy dies.
That's fine for me.
Okay. It's fine for me too. Alright, so we'll be back to look at my objectives to see what I score. So the Drukhari are close to getting area denial, but don't have it yet. We're going to get rid of secure objective 3, because that is Simon's Fortress of Doom. And we're halfway to defending objective 1. We still only have 1 point at this time. So despite looking like this on the battlefield, we're looking pretty sad on the scoreboard, but we'll get there. Up next, Necrons turn 3. Okay, Simon, once again, got objective 4. That's the 3rd time he's drawn that. That's where his Tesseract arc is at. He also got secure objective 1 and secure objective 2. Unfortunately for Simon, this is objective 2, and that's objective 1 over there, and that's Simon's army over there. So, let's see how many Necrons get back up.
Necrons, turn 3 movement. Unfortunately, I was not able to disengage the Cryptek.
Witches were too fast.
Then actually...
Like he's running away, but he just can't quite make it.
Then I just fly over with my Ghost Arc to deny his victory points over there. And of course, in 3 inch of range, I can use my regeneration protocol a second time. And after my movement phase, but we will make it shortly after this one. And here over there, everything stays still. Necrons is probably death marks are probably aiming for the succubus over there, and they will go for the Helllands. So let's see what's going on in shooting.
All right.
So guys, this is turn 3 wrap up of the Necrons. So shooting, we just killed over. I just killed here, I think, 2 scourges.
2 scourges indeed.
And there, with the whole shooting of immortals and death marks, I killed, I think, 5.
You ended up killing 4. Some really good saves by me, including Nerd from Pain. One of the Goth Flare waves also went into him, so all that shooting only resulted in 4.
4 dead, and you lose 2 more by a moral check over there.
Yes, indeed.
So, close combat. Cryptek lost 3 wounds. He still has 1 wound. Bikes over there were slain. He rolled a 6 on a moral phase. He command pointed to keep that bike in close combat. Over here I killed, I think, 2 scourges and 1 witch.
Yep.
And that's all actually. And then I lost through close combat 4 over there. So there's no moral at all. So
lastly, the Venom, who's overperformed this game, was destroyed by the Tesseract arc.
Finally.
So, that was good. We'll come back with, well, actually, what points do you score?
I do score objective 4.
Yeah, the arc.
The arc. You score defend objective 1, I think.
Defend objective 1 worth 2 points for me.
Yes, and I discard secure objective 1.
Okay. So now we're into turn 4, where my Dark Eldar don't care about morale no more. So that's exciting. Turn 4, we'll come back with the Dark Eldar's draw. Alright, finally a pretty good draw for the Dark Eldar. We retain area denial, we're getting close. Secure objective 6 is right there in the center of the board. I like my chances. Witch Hunter, that's not going to be possible, so we're going to discard that in the turn. And Blood and Guts, which is 1 point if I kill somebody in close assault, D3 if I kill 3 people in close assault. So we'll see what we can do. Those Necron warriors have been hanging around too long. Let's see what we can do. Okay, Drukhari turn 4. Just a wrap up of the turn. As you can see, my Hellions flew out of combat with the hit and run rule in order to surround what used to be a, what do you call those things?
Ghost Arc.
Ghost Arc. And that succubus moved up, as did this one, while my 3rd succubus is now dead. The reason why she's dead is because this succubus, as you know, her, that is Kitty right there, charged into the Ghost Ark, destroyed it, and it blew up, killing her sister Anna, who was standing less than 6 inches away. We did do a lot of damage to it. Hit with 2 Dark Lances, one did 5 damage, one did 6 damage. Unfortunately, Simon failed quantum shielding on the 5 damage. And then a bunch of blasters from various people, to include that Solarite. Got all down to 1 wound. I had hoped to kill it in the shooting phase. That did not work. But Kitty came in, and she is the new leader of the Witch Cult of Incessant Rage. Alright, as far as the close combat, we ended up wiping out that squad of Necrons that was there during the combat phase and morale phase. And it's also worth mentioning, with that blowing up, besides the succubus dying, 1 Hellion from this squad died. 1 Hellion from this squad died. That Solarite made her feel no pain. It was amazing. But that one did not. And then 2 witches died in there. So it was a pretty big blow up. But now the Necron center is completely collapsed. As we look at the cards, for us, we have finally got Area Denial. We got Secure Objective 6. We got Blood and Guts. Unfortunately, we took out the Cryptek during the shooting phase with a blast pistol to the face. And we're going to discard Witch Hunter. So that gives us a total of 6 points as we move on to Necron turn 4. By the way, again, Dark Eldar turn 4, no longer care about morale. That's super helpful.
So guys, this is turn 4 Necrons overall. I disengaged the Stalker from here over there. I just moved up a little bit at the Thoracic Orc, and I moved up the Immortals to have rapid fire. Then in shooting phase, the Heavy Flamer of the Thoracic Orc killed, I think, 4. Then the Tesla killed the other whole squad. The Gauss guys killed these Reavers, and Death Marks killed 3 witches. At the end, I do secure objective 3 and I discard objective 2. So we're going to Drukhari turn 5.
Best we can figure, Simon is up 7-6 right now. Very close game. Drukhari, turn 5 cards, no prisoners, and must destroy one of Simon's units. Secure objective 6, which is in the center. Secure objective 4, which is all the way down there. Big Game Hunter, and then hold the line. So, this is going to take some thinking on my part. We'll see what we need to do in order to score some points and get back in the lead. Drukhari turn 5, I think we did what we needed to do with this bike moving flat out in order to take that objective. And the Scourges, both squads, moving backwards along with that bike to make sure we got hold of the line. These guys stayed in place after shuffling around a little bit to hold objective 6. I did a couple of assaults just to kind of tie things up. The Succubus went into there, did 1 damage. And then the Hellion went into there and did 2 damage. Before they got in there, Simon did roll really well on his Flamer, killed 3 witches and 3 Hellions. The new leader of the Witch Cult of Incessant Rage, Kitty, just outside of range after she advanced, so no charge there. Looking at the cards, wasn't terrible. I secured objective 6, secured objective 4, and are holding the line, and also, at least right now, have line breakers. So, we will see what Simon can do in response on this turn 5. Arwen looks nervous, so gonna be okay.
So guys, this is Necron's turn 5, my mission cards. I have defend objective 6 still. Secure. Then secure objective 5, defend objective 2, defend objective 3, which is really cool, where my Death Marks and my Gauss Immortals are. And I draw mission critical objective, and I roll, luckily, a 3, where are my all guys. So everything depends if we go on to turn 6, so I can equalize.
That's kind of crazy. You can't score defend objective 3 if this is the last turn, it gives
Yes.
you 1 second. Oh, wow.
Yes.
We'll see how that plays out. So, on to the Necrons turn 5, and what has been a bloodbath for both sides.
So guys, this is Necrons turn 5. I disengaged all of my guys back here over there because I have still secure objective 6, hoping to go on turn 6. In the shooting phase, I managed to kill the lone witch over here and this reaver jet bike. Unfortunately, I couldn't do any wounds on the witch, the succubus. So I'm achieving mission critical number 3, objective 3
For 1 point?
for 1 point. So and now it's depending if I roll a 3 up.
No, since I go first, I roll actually.
Okay.
And I do have 1 command point left, Simon, which I can use. So on a 1 or 2, I win the game. That's a 4. I will use my command point to try to put this away. No! Alright, so we go on to turn 6. We'll be back with the Dark Eldar's cards. Simon is now wishing the game had ended because, in addition to no prisoners, which carried out from last turn, I got Defend Objective 6, which is in the center. I don't think I'm going to be able to defend it though. I got Secure Objective 1, and look at that! Also Secure Objective 1, right here in my back line. Kingslayer gives me D3 points if my opponent's Warlord has been destroyed during this or any previous turn. And then Defend Objective 2 is over there. So, I think it's time for the Dark Eldar to retreat. Get their objectives. No slaves because these soulless metal warriors aren't very fun to play with. But we will see what comes at the end of turn 6 for the Drukhari. The Drukhari have vanished like a band of ninjas. Actually, this guy moved up here to secure objective 1 twice. These Hellions moved from the center of the board rather than just wait to get flamed and then assaulted. Had moved back so I could keep them. I got 2 Scourges up there, fired a couple Dark Lances, but needed 4 as a hit and missed. Another Scourge, Solarite, is behind that wall just to make sure I don't get tabled. And then the Succubi, saving their own skins. This one has ran over here as far away as she can get. This Hellion did the same. And then the last Succubi behind the ruins there. So, didn't do any damage, didn't do any assaults, but we did manage to score some cards. We secured objective 1 twice for 2, and then we got Kingslayer, D3 rolled a 1. Wish I would have still had 1 more command point. But not bad. Simon scored Defend Objective 3 for 2 points, and is about to draw his cards. So, exciting conclusion. Let's see what happens.
So okay, I draw 4 more objectives. Unfortunately, I just can't actually manage to make Supremacy for D3 and secure objective 6. So when everything went somehow good, I can even get a lead.
Yes, it's gonna be close. Let's see what happens. All right, Simon's turn 6. What happened, buddy?
Yes, I actually just moved up for getting Supremacy. I advanced my Immortals over there, so maybe I can do something else. And shooting phase was quite ineffective. I wasted 2 shots of heat ray with the Scourges, wounding double ones.
Yep.
This heat ray, this solar fire managed to hit to wound 2 times.
Yep.
On 1 Scourge I made a damage roll of 1, and I don't want to point on somebody, but somebody made the 6 up feel no pain. And the other Scourge.
That guy right there. That's the one who did it.
And the Tesla managed to kill this guy over there.
Last Hellion.
Yes.
Okay. So now, for your scoring cards.
I get secure objective 6.
Mm-hmm.
So giving 11.
Yep.
I need, which is 3, for Supremacy. So having here on, as will be fine.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Simon was excited because he has 14 points. Thought I had 13. He forgot about that Scourge.
Which survived.
That Scourge, who's defending objective 2 for 2 points. which gives me a total of 15 to his 14. But Simon, it's your turn to roll to see if the game continues.
I just hope it. I just really hope it.
This would be a 3. Game over, 15-14. Woo, what a game, brother. Much fun.
Much fun, yeah.
15-14, that was incredible. All right, everybody, we'll be back with the wrap-up here in a little bit. I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. The post-game wrap-up video was accidentally deleted, so you'll get commentary from the Chapter Master of the War Corgi, Space Marine Chapter, Arwen on the left, and from the First Company, Captain Piper on the right. Girls, what'd you think of that game? Very insightful. Sorry about the mix-up, guys. Hope you enjoyed the battle report. Like and subscribe.